Hello, everyone. I want to raise this question here to all of you people and to those atheists as well, that does God really need to explain every human suffering? And this video, which I've made today, would be a response to Firas Siddiqui, who is an atheist. Recently, I watched a thought-provoking video of an atheist, Firas Siddiqui, and he was asking some questions about that he doesn't require any sort of miracle, or he doesn't need someone to split the moon, or he was referring the prophet, or parting the sea. And if there is a creator, so he wants simply an explanation for the human condition, that why there is suffering, or why children die, or why some are rich and others are poor, why prayers seen unanswered, and why life appears so unfair. So let's begin. These are not foolish questions, by the way. And these are some of the deepest questions humanity has asked for thousands of years. As Muslim, we should never mock these questions, by the way, but I believe something very important has been overlooked. So the first thing, or the first mistakes which humans do, that they expect everything from science or logic to answer every why. And here that the speaker said that he doesn't need miracles, or he needs an explanation of human condition. So now let's think about this carefully. There is a huge difference between science and religion, that science explains how things happen and religion explains why they ultimately matter. So science can tell you how a child develops inside the womb. It cannot tell you why justice matters, or why love matters, why sacrificing your own life for another human being is noble. So those are philosophical and moral questions. Science is an incredible tool, but science itself never claimed to answer purpose. I will also mention here one story of Surah Kahf. And people, they can, especially for atheist people, they should go and read with sort of full translation and the tafsir of Surah Kahf, and it has a lot more hidden knowledge and wisdom which could maybe possibly give the answers of certain questions. Now the point here I want to make, that can we judge God without knowing the whole story? Like, imagine, I'm going to give you one example of supposedly you're walking into a hospital and you see a surgeon cutting open the sort of chest of a 5-year-old child, and from your limited knowledge and perspective, you would see that for you it looks cruel or painful or unfair, but then someone can tell you that surgeon is actually saving the child's life. And suddenly the exact same act has a completely different meaning. What changed? The pain? No. The knife? No. And your knowledge changed actually. And the event remained the same, meaning the knife by this time was in the doctor's hand, and somehow you found out the exact purpose behind cutting the heart of a 5-year-old child. और हम इस बात पे खुदा को blame नहीं कर सकते, because the reason since long human keep asking these sort of questions with their limited knowledge. The better solution I just recommend here at this point, that increase your knowledge, enhance your knowledge, because here is a need for you sometimes to open your third eye. Sometimes you cannot find the questions only logical or rational. Sometimes there is a lot more things which are hidden, but when you try and do some efforts to find out the answers of these questions, maybe that you'd succeed to get your answers. And Islam never says every pain will make sense immediately. One thing I appreciate Faraz is that the speaker Faraz is asking honestly, and he admits that he wants logical answers. So do Muslims. Islam never says don't ask questions. In fact, Quran repeatedly asks us to think, and Islam also reminds us of something else. Human knowledge is limited. Imagine giving a 3-year-old child an injection. The child cries. The child thinks that my mother is hurting me. But the mother knows something that the child doesn't. And the child has limited knowledge. The mother has a broader perspective. Now imagine the difference between human knowledge and the knowledge of the creator of the universe. Meaning, who is the creator, who knows better than everybody else. And the real question isn't why do bad things exist? Actually, the real question is that can there still be wisdom even if somebody do not understand it immediately? And the atheist in this video assumes that unless every tragedy is fully explained to him, belief becomes irrational. But think carefully. We accept many realities long before understanding all of their details. So for example, even though Newton could discover the gravity was existed before. Germs did existed before microscopes. And dark matter is widely inferred from astronomical observations, yet scientists still debate its exact nature. Not fully understanding something doesn't automatically mean it doesn't exist. And life was never promised to be equal. One of the biggest questions raised in this video, why does one child suffer? Why is one family rich or another poor? Or why disease there? Why disaster? So Islam's answer begins with something many people forget, that this was never promised to be fair. It was promised to be a test. But here's a more important part, that people often misunderstand what that means. And a test doesn't mean everyone received the same questions. Go into any university and medical students, or suppose engineering students, not receive identical question papers. A different test, same purpose. Likewise, one person's examination may be wealth, or another person's may be poverty. So there are different questions designed for different fields. Raised questions, then why everybody's question is different. So according to that, everybody's answers could be different. Now, the main point we noted is that the test is different, but the examiner is one. I'd like to end this video here to make second part of this video to answer some more typical questions raised in this video, like suppose why do innocent children suffer, or is saying it's a test enough, or why are prayers sometimes answered and sometimes not, and does Islam really have a rational explanation of these questions? Because these deserve more than emotional answers, and they deserve thoughtful ones. So stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Last response to this video is that increase your knowledge, enhance your wisdom. It is you who raised questions where answers are already there, but is it possible that you can find out the answers by your side? It's your journey, and I wish best of luck for your journey. See you next time. Bye-bye.